In a world where retirement plans are broken, a team of 4 renegade ERISA nerds dared to fix it. Justin McNeil, the wild card who plays by no one's rules. Chad Johansson, the technical wizard who can turn anything into a spreadsheet. JD Carlson, the man with all the plans hiding under his beanie. And Mark Palamini, aka Rogue Guy, the heart and soul of the crew. Together, they are Retireholics, changing the retirement plan industry one beer at a time.
Welcome, everyone. We are happy to see you here on the first Thursday of August. We had a nice little 3-week break, which I always like. Buckle up, get prepared. We've got some great topics to talk about today, and just a FYI or a public service announcement. I'm pretty sure Rogue Guy's been drinking by a lake all day. So
ask him about last night, JD. Ask him about last night.
No. So watch out. Let's get to it. We got a lot to cover. So Silent J, intro our guest. No one knows who's here.
Yeah, JD, you know our guest needs absolutely no introduction. She's probably the most loved person in the industry. So we're just going to skip right to the rapid fire questions. Are you ready, Sheri?
Oh, God, yeah, ready.
All right. When JD asked about my manscaping, were you referring to a face mask like Chad or shaving my nether regions?
I was talking about your face mask.
Okay, just making sure.
Wow.
Yep.
Thoughts on companies like... go ahead.
Wait, expand.
Although. Go.
Yeah.
I've always wondered what it's like to take something sharp to that area. Never mind.
No,
keep going.
It's a little scary. First time.
Yep.
Anyways, what are your thoughts on companies like Pringle and Liquid Death coming out with flavors like Italian meatball and cinnamon roll iced tea? Yay or nay?
Wrong game, dude.
Yay. I would say yay, because we gotta innovate. You never know if you like it until you try.
But with Italian meatball, I don't want that in the form of a chip.
I don't
know. Sounds pretty good to me.
Salty and spicy? What would be not good about a chip with salty and spicy and a little bit of grease,
I don't know. Maybe I like a little marinara in there. Not working for me, but interesting.
This bit has really evolved, Justin. Now
it has. It's gonna get real legit right now, JD. Let me tell you, we're gonna test Sheri's knowledge of the show. What do you prefer? Nope or dope or the lamer game?
I like the nope or dope.
Shit, sorry, Mark. I was really pulling for you there. FinTalk or any other game.
What? Say it again.
FinTalk or any other game.
Any other game.
There we go.
Well, I'm sorry. We'll be doing FinTalk tonight. Go on, Justin.
Shit. Stock tips or headlines?
Stock tips.
Yeah.
We're back. We're back,
but not least.
I love Mark.
Sheri.
I do.
Let's see if you go 2 for 2 here then. Nate's sister or Mark's sister?
Oh, wow.
This is an easy one.
Okay. Then which one?
No. There's no.
All right, let's go to headlines, Brandon.
All right, here we go.
Nate's sister.
Fuck you, Nate. No, Mark. He said my
Justin's
sister.
sister. Yep. Your sister.
Justin's sister.
Well, let's see. From our friends at Plan Sponsor magazine / website, we have an article titled Vanguard proposes 401k match formulas with more non-elective contributions. Chad got all in a tizzy over this and he can't wait to talk about it. But basically what they're claiming is they've done some studies, and that if we tweaked our current kind of standard matching scenarios, and I think for today's discussion, the basic safe harbor match is a good basis to go off of. If we could tweak that, we could get better results. I think they talked about $6.67 billion an extra money going in if we instead push to, their example was a stretch match, instead of giving 100% of 4%, let's skip the whole 50% of the next two thing. Instead of giving 100% of 4%, but stretching it out to 8 and giving 50%, that could create some positive angles. But they also wanted to marry with it a 2% non-elective. And I think this was kind of based around this concept. And if I could find this stat here, nearly 3 of every 5 match dollars goes to workers who are already deferring above the match cap, meaning I think in a way kind of goes to the more wealthy people. And so this 2% non-elective then would help all these lower paid people south of 50K, south of 30K, get some money in the plan. But I'm curious, Chad, let me kind of push this to you real quick since you're excited about this. They say the cost to the employer will stay the same and that it's not going to go up or down. And I got a little bit confused by that. Like, how's it going to stay the same if I'm giving a non-elective to everyone, regardless of whether they defer or not? Oh no, Chad's
You're muted, Chad.
Why are you guys muting yourselves?
The way it stays the same is by the formula structure itself, JD. They said we're going to give a non-elective of 2% to everybody, and then a 25 cent on the dollar match up to 8%. So a 2% non-elective and a 2% match.
Same 4%.
Same 4% out of pocket. Now,
but
inevitably,
4%,
what's going to happen?
How do they get the extra $67 billion?
It's because it's going to require the folks who are making more money to save more, stretch out their match to get the full 8, to do the full 8% to get their 2. Now,
classic pros of a stretch.
And sorry, you're also capturing
$6.7 billion to clarify.
$6.7 billion.
Sorry,
but isn't it though, if you're also capturing the non-elective to a larger audience too of participants, that's going to drive those flows up as well?
Well, the general thought is that those people, we'll say those making less, I think they used an income threshold of like 30K in their
30,
they're only contributing enough to get 2% right now, is essentially what they're saying on average. So giving a 2% non-elective will create very little more in terms of the matching contribution to them, because it'll be 2% or 25 cents on the dollar for nothing. They're just not going to contribute much. So here's what I heard and I read in that, JD. When you read through the stats at the beginning, number one, it's all fucking obvious. I'm reading through there going like, okay, Captain Obvious, give me something of meat here that I want to actually learn.
The broke people don't participate and the rich people do at high levels. And everything in between is a spectrum. No shit.
Yeah.
Morningstar.
Then when they got to the breakdown for folks, I started to think to myself, you're already telling me the people who make less are not saving enough to get the full match. Now we're going to give them a non-elective. I feel pretty confident that unless you push this with automatic enrollment, that those folks just aren't going to save. They're going to take their 2%. They're going to say thank you. And that 6.7 billion number is going to come down quite a bit. And it's going to be for the people who probably don't need it as much. The impact here is going to be stretching the match for the people who are making more and probably getting less in the overall savings accounts of the people who need to be saving more.
You would think I'd be against this. I'm going to have Sheri chime in, but there's some things I really like about this. But Sheri, I feel like Rogue Guy, you're a person of the people, the regular people. And so I would imagine you're a good voice for the people making less than 50, 30K. What do you think about them getting 2%, like a new safe harbor in the future that gives them 2% and then this stretch match? You like this idea?
Well, there's parts of me that is very concerned, like Chad, which is that then there's no real reason for them to participate in the plan, Can
I say that the study, according to Vanguard, they say that that's not true. If you read that article, that they don't think the 2% negates the deferral rates for anyone at all. But.
Well, because the other part is that there's still the match for them. There's still the match. So there is still there's some aspirational opportunities there.
Isn't it possible too, Sheri and Chad, that when someone sees some money going into their account, that their eyes kind of open up and they're like, oh wait, I got money in here. Like
That
maybe I
they're
want to start
that
adding
they're
They
to
even
it.
made
No.
that comment in the article though
that
too.
they're
Chad,
that they see themselves as a saver. No,
Right.
no, Justin, that
no, no,
doesn't
no. I'm
help.
disagreeing with Chad. I mean, I'm one of those people who it took automatic enrollment with my prior company and participating at 3%, even though the match went to 6, for me to get wise about it. And like, shit, okay, now I have some free money in here and I need to save more.
You're not the
Well,
person we're talking about. First off, we're not talking about automatic enrollment either. Look at the deferral rates of plans that have a 3% non-elective versus deferral rates that have a safe harbor match. The deferral rates in plans that have a safe harbor match are significantly higher because people are just getting the
Yeah, but
3%. They're like,
how would
Yeah,
it compare to one that has both?
but you're
that's think about it this way, JD. When you see a traditional safe harbor match, how many folks stop their deferral at 3% to get the dollar for dollar to 3, but don't put in the remaining 2% to get the 50 cents on the dollar match to max out their full safe harbor match? It's a common issue when you look at metrics. So I think what you're going to find is that people would take the 2% and not worry about the extra 25 cents by putting in their own money.
Yeah. Well, how about Robe Guy? I know you're drunk, but how about the classic safe harbor match plan? I'm not endorsing this or saying this is okay, but where the small employer kind of likes that half of his or her staff don't defer. It's cheaper for that employer. So a safe harbor match sometimes is a nice design in that, hey, for the people that want to do this, I match them. And for the other ones, like, I don't have to worry about it because they're not participating. This would smack that right in the face, I feel like.
Yeah, I 100%. But I would also say that I don't know, it's more along the lines of like understanding as an employer, right? The idea of this is doing the right thing and it's actually going to help people long term versus the alternative. Like you're saying, we sit in meetings all the time where guys and gals are, oh, no one on my staff is gonna participate, so I want to do the match, and I always feel really bad about that. I'm just like, that sounds so terrible,
Yeah, it's a
and
bummer.
I fight that a little bit because I'm like, you know what? It's the job of the advisor now to get in there and to tell people why they should prove this business owner wrong. Get in there and say, do you know what this means to you that your employer is offering you free money? You should really take advantage of it.
Back in the
So
day, I'd have employers come to me when I would do education meetings, and they'd have a safe harbor match, and they'd be like, "Hey, man, like, do your thing." And I know we got to tell them about it, but please, like, don't make a big deal of it. Like, I don't want everyone signing up for the
so
match.
bad, dude. It's so
They're
bad.
they're used to, and now it's changed quite a bit, at least on the startup space with automatic enrollment requirements.
Right.
But I remember one time, I mean, it broke my heart. It was a painting company. He had 130 people. It was going to be an audited plan at this stage, back with old audit rules. And he's like, "Hey, I rolled it out, and nobody is participating but me and my wife." I'm like, there's no way you
Yeah.
rolled this out the way you were supposed to 130 employees, and not one person took you up on it. Like,
Hey Joe, you want your
very
regular shifts this week? Don't sign up for that 401k plan.
Yeah.
Can I throw a different, maybe a little bit of a curveball at this? And I know that this would be a nightmare for tracking and all this other stuff, but we're doing it with like Roth catch up where we're setting an income threshold to say like certain people who make over X have to do catch up in Roth. Could we set like an income threshold to say if you make under X, then it is a non-elective, but anything over that, you don't have access to that? Maybe
You're
just
a fucking commie, bro. That's what you are.
Yeah.
Goddamn
I'm
commie.
just saying.
No,
I mean,
Nate,
if you did it anything less than highly compensated definition, that's discrimination. So
Or if you
that'd be
use
pretty
this, you
tough.
have to exclude the highly comps. Fuck them, right?
oh God. Okay, we
Dude,
will
so many
wrap
Me,
that.
employers would
Chad,
be
and
down for that.
Justin would be out. I'd
Wait.
still be in. It'd be
Let's-
great.
Let's wrap it because even Nate Moody said in the chat bar that this is like an equity play, and this is gonna sound horrible coming from me, and that's kind of joking, but not. Usually, I'm anti the whole equity play. I'm like, man, capitalist society, let the winners win and the losers lose. But I kind of like this one. I kind of like the idea of giving 2%, to all those people and making this a new type of safe harbor. So my vote
Vanguard
is
likes it
yes.
because
I
they
think
make
this
more
would be
money
cool.
too.
Yeah, maybe.
And the employers pay.
Yeah, the employers pay, and it may not work out the way Vanguard's study is showing, is my comment. But I don't think there's anything wrong with that structure.
And would you like to have? Wouldn't you prefer to have like 4 safe harbors to talk about instead of 3? That'd be fun.
Yeah, I'd be down.
I want way more. Give me 7
I can
or
count
8.
on one hand how many times I've talked about the qualified automatic contribution.
Yeah,
that was close.
I hate it when you guys set those ones up. Okay, let's go to the next one. Let's go to everyone. We've talked a bit about this in the past, but Fred Reish, Mr. Reish, and you can check out all of his blog posts on fredreish.com. It's a beautiful website. Check it out. He has
I wonder why.
He's tackling
shameless plug without being a shameless plug.
He's tackling these new proposed regulations. He's got, I want to say he's up to like 18 articles or something on there about them. I'd like to talk about the newest one, which, come on, JD, get your shit together, was titled, he's great at titling his blog posts. This one was titled Alternative Assets, number 16, Department of Labor Proposal and the 6 Defined Factors.
Thesis.
Colon complexity, parentheses 2. God, that's nice.
I'm going to open that email for sure.
That's clickbait if I've ever heard it. I'm just saying.
Exactly. Totally.
In his defense, he's talking about the 6th parameter, this complexity area, and it's a great article if you read it. But he's talking about how the government is letting us know in this proposed regulation that they're aware that private investments, private equity, private credit will be used in 401k plans. And I think they're looking at it in kind of like private markets or kind of custom plans and the big billion-dollar plans and stuff. But Fred's touching on it in more the regular market and discussing that target date funds and managed account services will potentially have these sleeves of private investments in them. And he's concerned, I'm speaking for him, so if I fuck it up, I apologize. But he's concerned that the Department of Labor is saying, hey, fiduciaries, and in the small mid-market, I could replace that with plan sponsors. We'll talk about 338 in a second here. But fiduciaries would be responsible to really understand the mechanics of the private investments that are in these, either collective investment trusts or managed accounts or target date funds. And God bless Fred Reish, because he kind of says like, that's not okay for this world. Like that's not how things work. So Sheri, I'm curious, I don't know how much time you spent thinking about like these investment side of things, but do you think most plan sponsors dive, and I will say even with their advisor support, do they dive deep into the underlying mechanics of target date funds, like beyond like maybe the glide path? Do they understand what's inside of those things?
Most plan sponsors spend time on their plan once a quarter and their plan investments.
Yes,
at most.
And their advisor, chances are, has less than an hour, most likely maybe 15 minutes, to review what's going on inside those investment options. Right. So I think expecting them to understand the nuances of private equity and even I'm getting them
ultra complex.
Right, just even it's ridiculous. There's what we're asking from the advisors is one thing, and then what we're asking from a committee is a whole other thing. When you consider the fact that the time that's allowed to adequately review your plan is 1 hour once a quarter, no, they're not. And even if it's like a lot of advisors do, where you've got, here's what we're going to talk about, and here's the backup material of 58 pages. There's no time for them to review so they don't. They can't.
So
they
Chad,
won't.
There's a lot of people that have read what Fred has written, and they feel as though he's almost making the assumption now that a 338 fiduciary outsourcing this to a professional would almost be like mandatory. Like if you wanted to comply, is that how you see it?
Yeah. Specific to the article that we're looking at here, he's essentially saying in order to abide by what the DOL is, the Department of Labor is proposing, you're going to have somebody on the outside doing this deep scrub, both from a time perspective, to Sheri's point, but very much so from a knowledge perspective and access to data and insight and understanding of the terms that they're trying to lay out. You read through what Fred's writing there. I don't see any way, and this is me being perhaps a jerk in this, I don't see any way the majority of the financial advisors that I'm working with are going to find the time, the bandwidth, or the margin to push that into their process.
Okay, let me propose this to you, and maybe someone else can chime in on this if they have a thought. We use technology these days. Retirement Plan Advisory Group, Morningstar, FI360. These technologies drill deep into asset class. I don't know how well they do with target date funds these days. Someone would have to enlighten me, but I'd imagine they could be built to really drill deep down into these underlying investments and create, I don't know, scores, stars, whatever. So why couldn't those companies jump on this to help a plan sponsor with a, as you put it, Chad, kind of a regular advisor? And then they could do it the same way they do it today. They just get nice scores. It lets them know, and they could just kind of trust the system.
Yeah. No, I think that's reasonable. That's why my statement there was about the individual advisor. If you're going to outsource that responsibility to a scaled 338, then I think it could be reasonable. But there are a lot of advisors now, JD, that are signing on as their own 338 solution to plans. True. And I don't see how you're going to find the bandwidth, but especially the margin.
And what are we going to see? The
cost of, especially if you're using alternative assets, that those that are running a 338 practice can't charge the 5 basis points they're charging.
I'm not even sure like what the transparency looks like.
You can't get it. That's the fucking point. Yeah, that's the point Nate always makes.
Yeah. Well, you're
not getting transparency.
How are they going to give us transparency into these very complicated arrangements they have with private equity, private credit, like, and how lagging are those? And so it's definitely a can of worms. And I think we'll kind of move on from this one, but I think what Fred is saying, which I love when Fred goes, I used to not rip on Fred, but I've said this statement many times in my career. There's like the Fred Reish world, and then there's the real world. And I was like, they can sit there, Fred and his other, I'll drink, ERISA attorney buddies, and they can tell us all how they read the regs and how proper, prudent fiduciaries are supposed to do things. And then there's Sheri's point of having, because most of these plan sponsors aren't even having a meeting every quarter. They're having 2 meetings a year or 1 meeting a year. Like, so, and I'd say, so there's the Fred's world and then there's the real world. I think Fred's coming over into the real world and he's realizing like, no, like this isn't going to fly. So our government is putting these rules in black and white in writing that to me are going to be traps for fiduciaries in the future. And that's not where we want legislation to take us, I don't think. So
Moody scared me in the chat bar. Did you see his comment about seeing market value adjustments or surrenders on target date funds if we start having deeper sleeves of alternative assets, different fixed income solutions? Could you fucking imagine what that would do? That would be horrendous.
That would be taking us backwards. That's absolutely
for sure.
Asinine. Yeah.
Oh, this is already happening. Like it's already happening. The stuff's being put into certain target dates. We'll dig deeper on that in some future episodes and see where those things are going. Let's have Sheri, can you ask my brother to spin the magical wheel of ice, please?
Oh, goody. Can you spin the magical wheel of ice, Brandon? How are you feeling, by the way, babe?
Brandon threw up today, guys, just before the show.
What? Sick, or was he hanging out with Mark?
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, love it. God, I love that. I don't know why.
I don't love that.
I do.
I want to know the
Di-
calorie count on this thing.
I even brought
diabetes
one
in a
with
bottle,
me.
Chad. Diabetes in a bottle. Okay,
Diabetes.
Sheri. It's no secret to everyone since you're the master marketer, the master brander. You just got back from your Sway conference. I believe it's your third, right? So it's the third year, fourth year,
Fourth.
fourth year. Fuck
Yeah,
me.
fourth.
Okay, fourth year. I want you to give us the positive hoorah how it went, which I'm sure is going to be positive.
Okay.
But then I will ask some follow-up questions. We'll dig a little deeper on the state of conferences in general in our industry. But tell us about Sway. Did it meet your expectations? How were the types of people that were there? What do you want to share about it?
That it was phenomenal, and I was walking the dog this morning, and I was crying the whole time, not because I was exhausted, because I was just full of a shit ton of gratitude for everybody that was there. Um, we don't in our industry, we have friends, we have acquaintances, and we see them in the hallway every once in a while, and that's that. But we don't really get to have conversations about things that are very meaningful to us, or actually, be privy to having a conversation that about things that are meaningful, like, what what do we think our purpose is here in the world, and how do we want to go about doing it? So that's the first thing. It was phenomenal. The second thing is there was a thread. Thank you for posting it. I just
Is that
sent
this
that out.
year?
That's this year. Yeah.
Okay.
We always do a class photo. Yeah. There was a thread of storytelling throughout the whole event. And I mentioned to Brian Anderson, a 401k specialist, when I did his podcast, he asked about why storytelling was so important. And I said, in a world of sales, if you want to do mind control, get really good at storytelling. So we did a lot of work around storytelling, and just the structure of storytelling and the neuroscience behind storytelling. So, a lot of this woo, JD, actually comes down to neuroscience. We had music, we had art, we had time to talk,
So
we had
I was
time
at
to
your
learn.
I
Yeah.
was at your
Yeah, you're at the
inaugural
first
one.
one.
And your inaugural
Yep.
one was full of woo woo and hippiness and feelings and emotions that almost got uncomfortable at times in a good way. I'm
Yep.
imagining that theme has continued for the people who don't know, haven't been. Um, is this a 401k conference? Is this a marketing conference? Is it a woo woo conference? How do you describe what type of conference it is?
Well, this conference is, if I, am checking the boxes, it's focused on personal branding and all the things that are kind of are part of a personal brand. JD,
Yet
you're
99% or 98% of people there are 401k people, it appears to me, right?
no, we had
Oh,
a
come
bunch of
on.
wealth
Most of them
advisors
are.
this
I'm
year.
looking
I
at
was
their
going to say, I
faces.
recognize like
I know
80% of
you
them.
recognize, I know, but then the other 20% were wealth advisors. So we
Oh,
have
okay.
a
Yeah, fair enough.
fair,
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay.
we have wealth advisors too. So, yeah.
But definitely
So, and we had
industry. Yeah, it's our industry that's there. Yeah. Yeah.
definitely industry. Yeah. So, uh, if you're thinking about the grind that this industry puts you through, just the grind, especially if you're in sales, this is a way to be able to just take a day or two and get out of the grind and get back into, frankly, your hustle, but in a really good way. It gives
Yeah,
you,
coaching. I mean, not the classic
yeah,
sales training, coaching, whatever, marketing. You're so right. We live our days like fast pace, 7 days a week, grind, 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 email, meeting. We never
yep,
stop and say like, how do I better myself? How could I be more productive with this? How could I tune my skills in these? We never do that because we're so damn
That's
busy.
yeah,
self-reflection.
Yeah.
yeah. And the other part of it is that we all are storytellers. Every single one of us are storytellers. And there's an opportunity on Monday night where six new stories, not new, but six stories that we haven't had an opportunity to hear in this industry were shared. And Brian shared about his mom's mandolin, and Daniela shared about being a refugee, and Yolanda shared around JD. You would love this. How the ocean is her deepest love, from surfing. So my son shared about not letting your past define you, and Gabby shared about how she was shrinking to not to fit in an environment that she didn't fit.
Daniela.
Yeah, Daniela.
No, she's got
Daniela.
great.
Yeah, everybody cried. So
Yeah.
it's a really cool reset button.
Okay.
You can go to Lake Tahoe and do golf to reset. That's certainly a way. And then there's a way to reset that sway. It's a
all
really
right.
good
I wasn't
kind of reset.
Go ahead, Chad.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I often, whether right or wrong, JD, when people ask how the transition went from your dad to you, I tell a story in some ways that said your dad told you for 30 years, I worked in the business and not on the business. JD, you need to find a way to work on the business. And I feel like that's part of what Sway does. It takes you out of what you are doing and allows you to look at what brings you joy and what you want to be doing and the bigger picture of where the future is going to take you. And not everybody's good at that self-reflection part of life. Too many people, and I look at it with kids, too many people, including myself, will end up losing years. Like they say the days are long, the years are short. Like I'm looking back right now, my daughter turns 14 tomorrow. I'm like, where the hell did that time go? And I feel like that happens in business too. You work in the business and not on it, not on yourself, and all of a sudden years pass.
Well, I was going to say, I wasn't
really
there
insightful,
this year.
Chad.
I
Thank
wasn't.
you. I love it. Yeah.
Obviously, I wasn't there this year, Sheri, but then the first year when it was smaller, and my understanding is you want to keep it somewhat small. You're not trying to grow this thing to some massive conference. So I think you're kind of sticking to your roots here. But the first year I went, and hopefully, Sheri, this doesn't bum you out. Because I don't want it to scare people, because I mean this in a good way. Most conferences you'll go to, someone will go on stage and someone will talk at you. They'll tell you what they think. A lot of times it's a compliance approved PowerPoint. And I've always been left yearning for more at those types of conferences. Like, fuck, I'm not getting enough. Like, it's part of why we do this show here. When I went to your conference the first year, there was a lot of like spotlight put on the people that were there to tell and share and talk. There was a lot of, it was kind of like when you're a kid and your teacher says, hey, I want you guys all get together as a group and work on this project and then present. There was just a lot of like accountability for everyone that at times was almost uncomfortable for the people that aren't used to doing that. I'm imagining that trend is continuing. And I'm thinking that for people that are listening in, like, that's a good thing for you to push yourself toward, is to go somewhere where instead of people just telling you these are the 6 top things to do here and this is what I think, there's real conversations happening and growth. I guess there's the hippie part. I mean,
Go,
the
Mark.
growth is happening.
Mark has
Yeah,
epiphany.
No, absolutely not. I have a question, but I've interrupted the show. But we have an issue, guys.
We do.
What Webby just said?
Yeah. Yes, I was not aware.
Is it really?
And the shame on me. And Sheri, your conference is an acronym?
No,
I don't think you can say it is.
No,
Okay.
it's about sway, to influence. It means to influence. Yeah,
Okay,
I mean,
So
Webby
got it.
decided.
Yeah, but Webby,
I love that.
you're giving a full sentence, not
Webby
the
wants to
actual
drink.
just
Yeah.
one
All
word.
right.
Thank you.
I
love that.
think
though.
Webby just wants us to drink, is what I think is happening.
We can do that.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what's
But
going on.
I did
Well,
have a
back
question.
to-
This is
back
going
to
way
what-
back. But Sheri, when you were on your walk and you were crying,
Yeah.
did anyone ask you if you were okay?
Oh no, but then,
Oh, that's terrible.
I was, no, I wasn't wailing. I was just weeping. We were on our way. We have different walks.
Mark.
Today was the walk toward bacon. But thank you for checking in with me. There's a coffee shop that gives Fezzik bacon, which is hilarious. There's one that gives him biscuits and one that gives him bacon, so he gets bacon. JD, the one thing that I think that this industry has amazing people in it that have this deep desire to help individuals, you know, overcome inertia and do the right thing for themselves and their employees and all the things. And yet we spend most of our times at conferences being talked at by a very boring panel of people who did not prepare, who really are up there, forgive me, for their own ego and not necessarily for the learning of the people in the audience.
You just offended Chad, but that's okay.
No, I was not offended at all.
The one thing that is super important to me is that the voices in the room and the people in the room, their wisdom, their learning, what they know is more important than what's on stage.
That's great.
And so we do spend a lot of time working on getting them to talk to each other. And we do it because we only have 4 people at each table. And that's why we can't grow, JD, is because we can't get a room. Four people at each table limits the sizes of rooms that we can go to because the tables are 6 by 3 and la 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 la. So
were your tables?
The science of
were they?
Yeah.
Were they coloring? Could you color them?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So
okay, I love your 4-person tables. I love the coloring that Mark loves. I love the emotions and I will say like accountability for people really self-reflecting, as Chad said. But one thing that has to stop at these sway conferences, Sheri, I will not put up with it any longer. I'm not going to come to a fucking conference of yours if you're going to make me get up at like 5:30 in the morning to watch the sunrise at a fucking amphitheater. I'm out. I'm fucking out.
That's when we go to bed, Sheri.
Kate was doing whatever the bowl thing is. What the hell do they call that, Sheri?
ECAT did that. It was a crystal sound healing. So we had some sound healing. A sound bath. Yeah,
and it's at Red Rocks? Jesus, come on.
It was at Red Rocks. Yeah, it was at Red Rocks.
Gotta go.
They broke in.
Yeah, but we had everybody if that wanted to could come to a sound bath. So we rented a couple of vans and we got everybody in the lobby by 4:23, and we had coffee for them and water and snacks.
Oh, Danielle said she had mimosas. So now you're getting me.
Yeah.
Now
we did have mimosas. We had mimosas, not at Red Rocks because there's no alcohol in the park.
Oh.
Well, but we left and we went up to a 7,000-foot amphitheater that overlooked the city of Boulder, and we had a picnic and mimosas and sat there, and it was really awesome.
Okay, we need to talk about pooled employer plans and get Nate Moody all fired up. We need to talk about Strong Point and something I think is kind of cool. But Sheri, do we know next year location?
Oh yeah, we do. We're going to Cleveland next year.
Cleveland?
We're going to Cleveland, Ohio, and then the following year we're going to Asheville, North Carolina.
And these will be end of July types of things, or
they will be so next year it's August 1st through 3rd in Cleveland, and then in Asheville it's the 5th through 8th. So it's always the first Sunday in August, whatever that ends up following.
Moody's going there next year.
Cool.
Sweet.
I would love, that'd be
awesome.
Sheri, if you could get him to bring his sister, it would really boost attendance at next year's event. Okay, let's go.
Nate.
Let's go on to this one. Strong Point Partners, I believe is their full name. I don't know if y'all know who these guys are, but they're a third-party administration aggregator. They've bought several third-party administrators across the country. I get emails and little fancy mailings from them all the time. But they came out with a press release that they have what's called a advisor growth lab. And you know the pessimism I have. I was like, oh God, what the fuck is this? But I actually think this is kind of cool. So there's this dashboard where advisors can get up-to-date views of their book. So plan status, participant counts, plan assets, pending action items. So this dashboard of their book with Strong Point as a TPA, which includes many TPAs underneath it, but just think of them as one. And I say, I don't have something like that. I don't feel like most of my peers have a dashboard like that. I'm going to kick this to Chad real quick. On the pessimistic side of me, I would say, okay, all those things they mentioned, minus pending action items, and we can kind of guess what that is. Those are all things I could find at a record keeper site too.
For
So I don't know
sure.
why I need to go to a different TPA site. But what I think they've uncovered a potential here for is all the things that you could put on an advisor site that a third party administrator would offer. Like, I think there's a lot of room to run there.
100%. And so that's my takeaway as I was reading it was going, well, nobody's going to go to the third party administrator site for these pieces of advisor guidance and education and tools. But when they got deeper into, and it is a common request for us, JD, when they got deeper into the status of plans, scale of book, like this time of year, I get calls from a ton of advisors. It's like, hey, we've got 25 plans together. Do I have any that have not turned in data yet? You know, they're on the communications, but keeping track of all of that is tough. That is valuable to advisors who partner with TPAs. Damn.
Could be huge.
Could be huge. Not just using one here or there, not just doing some, but like if you're partnering with them and you're doing multiple plans with them, that's a very good add-on to that service model.
I agree. Justin, tell me if I came out with that and I told you could go sell it, where you could say to advisors, hey, every plan you have with us, you go to this dashboard, they're all there. You can see like where they are in terms of their compliance calendar. You can see the type of plan they are. Maybe you have access to their census and HCs and, you know, what deferrals they did last year, or I don't know. Jesus Christ.
It's a game changer.
You'd love that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It'd be so easy to sell that because, like you said, not many of our competitors are doing it. They don't have, they haven't leveraged tech. Go ahead.
Let me just argue. Let me just throw out the other side of this coin real quick. How many, Justin, in terms of percentage of the advisors you're setting up plans with, would be doing enough business to where this would be impactful for them?
I don't care, to be honest with you. It's still it's there for them, and it's a selling point for us.
You're
so
saying
when we go to work with those big advisors who do sell a lot of plans, like shit, I'm working with plan design because they have this. It makes my life that much easier. And think about how much easier it makes our lives. How many emails do we get this time of year around deadlines? Like, hey, what's going on with my plan?
I'm going to challenge you.
They can just log into the portal.
I'm going to challenge you as usual and say, if I have 5 plans, I would love this. I'm a fucking rookie. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. If I have another place I can check in and get more information so I can do my job a little better, why not?
Even if you have one plan, the hard part is you have to take the time to access it. And that's kind of what I was getting at with my question to Justin is how many people that
what do you mean, dude?
They do 3 plans. They're a private wealth person. They have 3 plans. And that plan's one's with Hancock and 2 are with Fidelity. You really fucking think they're gonna log into plan design consultants' website?
Is it quicker?
No.
Hold on. Maybe I'm looking at it too closely, but is it quicker for an advisor to write us an email and say, hey, what's going on with this one? What's going on with this plan? Or is it quicker for me to just put my credentials in and be like, oh, fuck, here they are?
I thought you were going to say
100%, Justin, they will email us 100% of the time.
Come on, we got to train them.
Justin, I thought you were going to say, is it quicker to go to and log into Voya and log into Hancock and log into American Funds and just
that's
go to
the point I was going to say next, JD. That's exactly where I was.
Sheri, I saw your chat there. You want third-party administrators to do more for advisors. What do you think about this? What StrongPoint's doing here?
Well, okay, from the specifics, and what it offers advisors, I'm just gonna say I'm not clear on exactly what it is. However, what I have often suggested to other third-party administrators is, listen, if advisors are your channel, then advisors are your channel.
Build tools for advisors.
Do everything you can to be a specialist on advisors. Everything you can. And so build a tool for an advisor to me seems like that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we do enough of that. Yeah, I don't think we do enough of that.
Right.
And
like understand that they are, that they're business owners and business leaders and they're hiring and firing and all that stuff. And there's all these components of an advisor organization, either, an individual rainmaker or a larger group, that if the third party administrator world got super good at, it would be a non-issue to work with, a TPA.
Yeah,
I'm not
no,
drinking,
I
but
agree
you know
with
what
you.
I mean?
I would also argue that our information, our data, if you will, might actually even be sexier to the advisor than account balance and where people's investments are. If they could dive into real design type stuff, like it could be pretty interesting for them and they could more value to their clients. We could provide all kinds of things for them. So anyways, I say kudos to Strong Point for taking a step in that direction. I thought the funny part of it was, and at the hub, you can request a proposal for a new plan. I was like, of course, you motherfuckers. Make it sales. But good for them. I think that's great. Please stick around because we're going to do a fun bit right now. But I saved the best for last. I was going to talk pooled employer plans on our last show. And I think I got too drunk and I ran out of time or something. And so we're going to dive back into it tonight. Yeah. There's quite a few rough people right now. But before we do that, let's play Sheri's favorite game, Fin Talk. I'm starting to skate outside the lines, draw outside the lines.
Draw.
And
Let's skate though.
So some of these might not even have anything to do with financial services or 401k. I just thought they were funny. So, anyways, Brandon, play a few.
We started a game we never got to finish. Play for blood, remember? I was just fooling about. I wasn't.
Jerry, I don't imagine you get a lot of passive aggressive emails in your line of work. I'm guessing no, but
this is why I tend to use AI sometimes, because I am queen of passive aggressiva. I am totally queen.
I would have not guessed that.
No way. I don't
not
believe
a chance.
you.
And in fact, JD, we were talking about gummies and everything before the show started. And that's one thing for me is when I get high, I get super passive aggressive.
Really?
Yeah. So
I kind of want to test this out in person.
You heard it here first. Yeah.
It is. In fact, my friend, when we were doing a little mushroom
Ayahuasca
journey in Denver, she said to me, Sheri, on a scale of 0 to 10, how passive aggressive are you right now? And I'm like, yeah.
We had an idea for Retireholics episode where Brandon would ship us all like something to eat, but only one of them would be dangerous, and then the audience would have to figure out who ate the wrong thing. I thought that'd be a fun game, but
that'd be hilarious.
We still need to do that.
So good.
Okay, Brandon, play the next one. I mean, this is just a moment
I hate the water.
Oh,
yeah. I kind of want to throw up right now.
It does the same thing with mustard.
Napoleon Dynamite's been doing bad lately, huh?
Same.
Jesus.
Same. So I just thought that's funny. All right, next one, Brandon.
Happy Friday. Happy Friday, good saw. You think we can wrap up early today? Yeah, I think so. The calendar looks open, so I don't see a problem.
The fucking.
Heck yeah, let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. I'm down. Pete? Friday.
Sorry.
What's wrong? Oh, no. Do you have a minute for a quick chat?
Come on, Justin.
Devin.
We use Teams.
That's the only thing that came to my mind was Devin right there. Sorry.
Yeah. You have a minute for a quick chat?
Devin's gotten
he's
really
on
good
here,
at setting expectations. Devin's like, hey, I need 17 minutes. I'm like, okay. I get it now. That's how much time you actually need because it's not a quick chat.
I didn't realize he was here.
I fucking hate Teams with a passion, and we use it. And I also hate when people are like, "Hey, can I give you a quick call?" And then I hang up the call. I'm like, "That was 45 fucking minutes, motherfucker!" Like, son of a bitch.
Hey, you have an issue with that personally.
Yeah, no, I have major issues with that. There's
Did
certain
you continue
people
to talk?
There's certain people that work for me that I'm afraid to call.
Is that where our team gets it from?
All right. Play another one, Brandon. This might be my favorite. Yeah.
You know we here, son.
Can you, Brandon, can you pause?
And I'm in the gaze of a nice silent neighborhood.
Never mind. Okay. Start it back. I just found this guy on TikTok. And so you're going to piece it all together. But you know how when you wake up early in the morning and someone's getting their grass cut? This is the guy that's doing the job. And Brandon, if you could rewind and turn it up a bit. I love this guy.
6:30 is too early for grass cutting.
Go ahead.
Also, it's not 6:30. It's not 6:30 there.
Could be.
No.
6:30. You know we here, son. Got my finger on the trigger. And I'm in the gaze of a nice silent neighborhood.
Oh, God.
And apparently the weather boy says we got some air quality situation happening right now. I was wondering why it smells like a bonfire out here today. Y'all bring the s'mores. I already got the heat. This fire burns bright, baby, deep in my soul. And you can't extinguish it. Let's get it.
This is JD's kind of comedy right here.
It is.
Tristan.
What? Nate Mooney, I'm glad you're picking up what I'm putting down. This segment is evolving. It's evolving. Okay, let's move to our final subject and a crazy subject. Freddie, I'm gonna say it. Freddie B of wealthmanagement.com.
That doesn't.
That one.
No, that's okay. Has an article titled. Fuck, sorry that threw me off there.
Old employer plans growth faces adoption headwinds.
Okay, I thought it was
another fad niche or mainstream.
Yeah, niche or mainstream.
Niche.
And niche says John.
Niche
says John Sullivan. Okay, here's the deal. Freddie says, look, PEPs, we think estimated. Estimated are pushing towards 40 billion. Okay. And he's saying, hey, you do the math, whether this is success or not. It's growth since it started. You all know that I'm a big anti on this. Currently, Freddie's saying that leaves them under 2% of all defined contribution assets. So we've been playing this game for many years now. You know, the jury was out years ago that pooled employer plans were going to somehow change the world that we live in. And here we are many years later, after all the big push, all the big marketing, all the companies that wanted it to happen, and we're still below 2%. I would like to add my own. It's not a conspiracy theory. This is facts. By the way, the 40 million is an estimate right now. Where are my fucking notes? I'm just going to riff it.
40 billion.
Sorry. Yeah. If you take Paychecks and you take Aon, who combined currently when we thought the assets of pooled employer plans were 20 billion. They had 7 billion of that. They were 1/3 of the total pooled employer plan marketplace. I think that average will continue as we get to these new numbers. So Paychex and Aon are 1/3 of total pooled assets. If you are trying to use this as a test to see if plan sponsors and or advisors think pooled employer plans are a good solution, I think you have to remove Paychex and Aon, at least a good chunk of them, because that was, I've said this before, that was left pocket, right pocket stuff. That was not plan sponsors and advisors deciding to be part of a pooled employer plan. That was those vendors deciding to move their clients to those types of solutions because it behooved them and not their clients. And so I say once again, and I think Freddie's article was leaning towards it in the end, no, everyone, it has not been a success. The only people who tell you that it is are the people that are slinging it. And it is still just a drop in the bucket. And I would argue the big push, the big explosion, the big adoption has already come and gone. And now there are people who are smart that are, and I'm not even getting into the conflicts of interest and why this shit is bad. I saw a press release this fucking week from the Standard coming out with a new 403B one, and they're the fucking pooled plan provider, they're the fucking administrator, and they're the fucking 316. Fuck you. Like, what is that? So, anyways, they're failing. Anyone in the chat bar think differently? Anyone on this stage want to tackle me on that? Tell me that I'm wrong.
DeCenso's here, so he's ready for you in the chat bar. It was standard. It was standard that you mic dropped at a conference. By
the way, are
3 years ago.
Actually, you ready for me to promote Standard? If there's any case of pooled employer plans working, it's worked for them. They're very big in it, and they've done billions of dollars in it, and they're doing it more by just setting up a bunch of them with partners everywhere. So I'll give them that. Still full of conflicts of interest, like in a ridiculous way. Freddie B ended, I think, by saying what I've always believed, and someone on our show, Eric Dyson, I think, said this, who's in these courtrooms. We're just like a year away from Schlichter going after these things, and Schlichter's peers. So you think you're safe in a pooled employer plan? No. You're literally in the target sites. When you reach a certain mass, they're coming for you. So anyways, shoot me down, or
Brandon, I love that little
agree with me, don't agree with me.
Schlichter.
I just had to get that off my chest because I'm fucking vindicated. Am I not?
It's too early. It's too early to say you're vindicated.
How many years has it been?
It's been 4,
like 3 or
right?
4.
It's setting every community up for retirement enhancement 1.0. So it's been 4 years.
Oh, Claude, Gemini, tell me.
Question mark. No, I don't think you're vindicated, but you certainly are. You should be supported in what we have and are continuing to see, which is it is a lot of shifting plans that otherwise these businesses would have won, and or existing business going over.
Yeah.
Right.
We did dog and pony smoke and mirrors Washington DC as to what we wanted these plans for. Justin, I got
District
you.
Did you see?
One of these plans. It wasn't distribution. It wasn't.
Did you see Fred's article that said it was they're very popular in the north of $250 million market? I almost threw up on my laptop, on my
66. I have it right here because it was one of my notes. 67% of plans with 250 million to 1 billion in assets. That's what makes up this pooled employer plan.
That's
space,
bridging that
67%.
coverage gap right there. Let me tell you.
That is.
So we didn't use it for what's right. JD, here's my fear, and I think Moody mentioned it in the chat bar either before, maybe even earlier today. If we see some push of the powers that control a lot of the purse strings in our space, like alternative assets, finding their way into the pool employer plan space, we are going to see a shit ton of money lead that direction. We're having too many broker dealers, too many large asset gatherers that have 5, 7, 10, 20,000 advisors underneath their house that if they start to launch one and they launch because they know alternative assets will be a stable inside their asset allocation or their target date funds, we're going to see pooled employer plans take off then.
Well, you mean for bad reasons?
For bad reasons. But I'm saying what's going to take it from what we've seen in terms of failure over 7 years to success in the next 7? It would be a push like that.
That would be a scary push. Yeah. I mean, you're basically saying, hey, if they could get their tentacles into those types of plans, then they would somehow help push that narrative. I just want the entire industry to keep their eyes open in this. And this is why I've kind of made a stink about it for the last 5 years is it really is motivation of the people that are trying to make money that are pushing this. If you ask the general public and I meet with a lot of advisors, and you ask most advisors are against this. Like they're not for this. It doesn't fit their business model. They don't want to do it. The main push of this is for the people that sell it. And I get it. That's fine. Like I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but
Fred subtly made that point in 2 spots. One, he said, and this is tooting his own horn a little bit, but he said it at oh shit, I'm just going to drink for it. TPSU, the plan sponsor university, right?
Yeah.
He said we rarely have businesses ask questions about rarely. Yeah. And he's got, I think, hundreds of thousands of businesses under that group. And then the second one was, he didn't say that advisors are questioning it. He said, and I think there's stats to show this to be true, advisors are reluctant to use it. Not that they're questioning it, that they don't want to. They won't at this point.
And when where they wave the flag, Sheri, is many people who kind of look into our industry will say, well, look, it's an initiative for a lot of record keepers. So JD, isn't that proof to you? Like most record keepers are considering, have already want to offer this. I'm saying, and I'm curious what you think about the statement, Sheri. Like, I'm like, that's not proof of this being popular. That's record keepers not wanting to not have an arrow in their quiver. Like they just want to make sure they have a solution if someone asks. But clearly, yeah, okay, so you agree with me. I get so flustered with this.
There's a couple of things that the stuff that pooled employer plans do in a way from reducing the complexity supposedly for plan sponsors, right? So complexity is the commodity, kind of, right? What?
Just by doing what? By offering a 316 fiduciary and a 330. And I know you're not their spokesperson, but we've always been able to outsource that.
Right. It's just a packet. For me, it's just packaging.
Yeah.
It feels like just packaging. And I don't think that it's any kind of innovation from a record keeper perspective.
And I have to make a comment
I think they could be more profitable in it.
Because I feel like I'm sweating after this one. Veronica in the chat bar said, does anybody really want to do a plan doc and a 5,500 for a plan with 200K in assets? Yes. Don't be tied to the assets.
Yeah,
a $200,000 plan is the same thing as a $200 million plan if you're not tied to the assets. Third-party administrators love to write plan docs, support, create customization in terms of what the client's looking to accomplish on a $200,000 plan.
That was Veronica?
Yeah.
And Veronica, my family-owned business of 51 years does exactly that. That's what we do. And what we've done for 5 decades, Veronica, is sell $200,000.
We love helping those small plans.
Like, yes, those happen all the time. And I'm just one little company across 50 states that do it. So yeah, that does get sold all the time. We'll sell hundreds of them this year, so
now to support the other side of that, if there was a viable, cost-effective, efficient solution that didn't sell things that were not needed, like an outsourced 402A and potentially 316, like if you could do the pooled employer plan space with what the micro plans actually fucking want and need and do it at scale, then I would sign up for it. But that's not what a pooled employer plan is.
That's called guideline and human interest.
And then We'll fix those.
No,
for you.
not everything can be perfect. I'll just leave
sure.
everyone with this, and we'll wrap it for the week. But Sheri, I don't know if I've done my soapbox with you, but I just feel like, and I'll do this very quickly, we came from an old industry where fee disclosure was a real problem. Like Veronica just mentioned 12B1s and sub TAs, and we had, you know, different share classes of funds, and so fees were very not transparent. Oh, my bad. I'll drink. And then the industry really improved. Like we moved to this institutional share class. We really kind of broke out the advisors comp, the third party administrators comp, the record keepers comp. We've done a lot of great things to really like improve our integrity, I guess, like make us look less evil Wall Street and more like do-gooders, which I think we really are. Like I think the 401k industry in terms of advisors are good people wanting to help. And so we were on this great path where things were clear, transparent, full of integrity. And now I feel like why I push so hard on these pooled employer plans is they're dragging us back into conflicts of interest, into, you know, revenue being hidden inside these things, into these relationships that are built on selling and making money. And I don't want my industry to be drugged back into that world. And the easiest way I could describe it is if you explained to Schlichter how these things work and these relationships, he would laugh his fucking ass off. He'd be like, "Are you kidding me? Like, this is ridiculous." And we continue to do these press releases just highlighting these conflicts of interest in this strategy. So again, to Chad's point, this is not what the government approved. We turned it into our own mousetrap. It's full of conflicts of interest. It's not cheaper, by the way. Everyone's already agreed to that, but that's common knowledge now. I was shouting it from the rooftops, you know, 5 years ago, and now everyone's like, "Oh yeah, no, they're not cheaper. We know that." Oh, that was literally your first bullet point fucking 5 years ago, and now it's not. And I just think as an industry, we need to step up and not let, and I'll shut up. When I say we, financial advisors, industry professionals, third-party administrators need to step up and say, this is our industry. These are our clients, and they're not yours. Empower, Standard, Voya. No. You're the fucking vendors. You're the record keepers. We sell these things. We service them. These are our clients. And so don't let them tell us where to take our industry, not their industry, our industry. And I'm not going to stop fucking talking about it. So anyways, okay, that's that. My blood pressure has skyrocketed. Sheri Fitts, she's got to be top of like total guests on this show. She's got to be close to
I don't
it,
think
right?
I don't think it's even a question.
4, 5, 5, 6. I don't know, but
think about all the conferences
emailing
too.
JD when I hang out with you guys. I'm like, I just miss you guys a lot,
I was
and I
going to
haven't
say,
seen you forever.
I don't think
Haven't had a chance to give you a hug lately. Yeah,
I don't think amount of appearances really matters, other than like, Sheri, you've been day one. Like you were a part of our evolution and growth,
totally,
and the reason why we're here. Yeah,
very true.
That lunch we had years ago, where Sheri held our feet to the fire in terms of the vision of Retireholics, that was a big turning point for us. That was awesome and so kind of you, Sheri.
I still have my glass heart, Sheri.
Oh my God, Sheri! Now I get it. When we were meeting with you, you were so high. You're being so passive aggressive.
Why is the census
cell he is fired up because he wants Chad to call him and talk about pooled employer plans all day.
He doesn't even care about pooled employer plans.
Oh, he does.
Oh, he does.
That was one of my favorite shows, though, going back and forth with him.
I love you all. I love you all, and what you continue to bring to our industry, and what you brought. And I say this all the time: when we didn't have a place to go during COVID, and you gave us a place every Thursday night, I'll be forever grateful for that, because
thank you.
You know, it was lonely and dark, and you brought laughter and community and you still bring laughter and community.
Well, that
and
was a lot of fun.
matters.
That was a lot of fun
Yeah.
for us, and that was a big up for us. So I pray every night for a new pandemic. So we'll see.
Oh, jeez.
Think of how Retireholics evolved because of that too.
Dude, I was hoping this whole shredded lettuce diarrhea thing was going to take off major, so it never happened.
So Sheri,
Explosive diarrhea.
I would love to back up Robe Guy's comments and just we're definitely us because of you in a big way from early on, from 10 years ago, and so we love you as well. Everyone who tuned in tonight, we love you. It's great to see you again. And we are the Retireholics, and we still are changing the retirement plan one beer at a time. And tonight's disgusting Japanese whiskey. Yes,
if
Roby.
you want to attend Sheri's conference next year, enter in the promo code Retireholics, and it costs triple. So you'll thank us later.
Yeah, I'll do that.
The extra money goes to our beer fund. So thank you out there for tuning in. We will see you in 2 weeks for another show. And thank you, Sheri. And
Thank you, Sheri.
Brandon, play some music. And we'll see you next time. See you later,
Thank you,
everybody.
Sheri. You were incredible, as always.
Thank you, guys.